Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Daily Dose, the number one daily morning mastermind for those trying to elevate and grow in your personal, business, professional, spiritual lives, man. It is Monday, May 13th. We are just grinding through this year. We already in the middle of the month. It's it's getting hot outside. God is good, man. God is good. We right back at it. So, like I said, welcome back. We're about to go ahead and get started with the verse. We're gonna go ahead and get started with the verse of the week, right? So we want to make sure that we tap in. This verse right here is about to be huge, though. Very huge. Boom. Philippians chapter 4, verse 6 through 7. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your request to God. And this the banger right here. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. So, number one, boom, don't be anxious about anything, right? Don't be anxious about anything. Pray about it. Pray about everything. Give God thanks. But the key is that when we do that, right, God will relieve any type of anxiety that we have. It says the peace of God which transcends all understanding. Right. So we got to just understand how profound that verse is. We're going to be diving into that this week. I want to make sure that we understand that, things happen in life for sure. Right. But God don't put nothing on us that we cannot handle. And we should always pray about it, about everything, and give God thanks because um, just because we should, right? And that's really the formula so that we can have that peace. And peace is something that we all need because one of the main killers of people these days is stress. So this verse is key to not only just getting requests done, but it's also the key to a good healthy life. We don't want to be walking around with a whole bunch of stress or anxiety on our bodies. So tap into that. We're gonna go through it this week, but hey, look, we're gonna talk about a huge business topic that I want to go over. I've been listening to this guy named Myron Golden. I had posted him a couple of probably like last month talking about top business people to watch on YouTube. But like I said, his name is Myron Golden. And he talks about uh, business, but biblical principles, how to run business and stuff like that. And one of the main things he talked about is gonna be like products to sell, right? So he talked about products to sell. He talked about like making sure that you are not holding yourself hostage to time when it comes to making money, right? In work, we work hourly, or for like a salary or however the case may be, but based on how many hours we work. Even if you have a service-based business, some of that stuff is based on, you doing it for a certain amount of time, but we have to free ourselves from that. It's okay to do that sometimes in certain situations, especially once you get a high dollar item or whatever the case may be. But we want to have something that we can sell that's not based on time, right? Or something that we can, sell, make money doing on that's not based on time. And one of the main things he talks about is selling a book, right? So want to talk about that because I think that most people either already have the knowledge to write a book, um, or they can definitely attain the knowledge through their life and their experience. So it might be something that you work on, like an experience that you are getting that you master maybe for the next 5 to 10 years, and then boom, you write a book, and then that way you can generate some income for the rest of your life, and you're not just sitting on knowledge that you have. So we'll just hop right into it. Like I said, it's so important. Number one, how to do it. Choose the information you can provide. And I gotta hey, I'm this process is gonna be mainly for a nonfiction book because uh it's a lot more simple. You're just going straight to the facts. You don't have to get really creative. You don't have to remember characters. You don't have to come up with, you know, really a plot and all of this type of stuff, character backgrounds. You don't have to worry about setting or nothing like that. So nonfiction is way simpler to write than fiction. But if you feel like you are creative and that's your avenue that you want to go, then fiction might be easier than you than nonfiction, but just something that you want to consider. Think about who your book, like who's gonna read this book when you write it. Like you know what your experience is, you know what the information is that you're trying to provide to the world, but who do you think will really like be reading your book? You want to think about that because that's how you'll write it in that tone. And it's gonna be like you're gonna have a first tier audience, but then you'll have a second tier audience of people that will see the title, they'll see, you know, the ad that you put out, and then they'll want to buy it as well. But you want to know, like, or be considerate of who's going to be reading your book, the core audience that you think will buy it. Map your chapters out to ensure you have complete knowledge, right? So that's going to make sure that you are covering every single concept of what it is that you want to put out in the world. And once you have your chapters mapped out, then you'll realize like, okay, I might be missing a step, or I'll need to add something here, or you might have too much information and you think like, okay, uh, let me take this out because this is like going left. And I want to stay really on topic with what I'm talking about. So map those chapters out so that you can make sure that you're covering everything and you're being concise as well, and you're not going all over the place in your writing. When you get started on writing a book, you want to set aside time to write every day, whether it's uh, probably 30 minutes at least. You want to block out some time to write, and this will help you to stay in that mode, stay in that rhythm, so you don't really get. And this is another thing when you're writing nonfiction, you don't really have to worry about writer's block because you're not trying to come up with stuff. You already have the information and you're putting it out there. So you write about 30 minutes a day, you'll have something. And it's not about rushing to get the book done. It's about getting the book done, overall, and putting that information out there and sharing your knowledge and experience with the world. This right here is probably one of the most important pieces to the puzzle is going to be choose your publishing route. And I didn't want to put this first because, like I said, it's one of the most important steps, but you need to make the decision to write a book first. And you need to go ahead and start writing that book so that you don't overwhelm yourself with the larger task that you might have to do, which is choose your publishing route. Right. So I wanted to put that down here and not first because you can easily get overwhelmed and not even start writing a book when you think about, okay, am I going to publish it myself? Am I going to go with a small publisher or am I going to go with a large publisher? Now, the difference between these self-published is exactly what it is. You write the book, you own 100% of the book, you have 100% of the editing and creative, whatever. You're gonna make the title, you're gonna make the cover, all that type of stuff, and you're gonna market it yourself, you're gonna print them out yourself, all that type of stuff, but you own it all. So that's the investment into yourself. Small publishers, they'll take a little bit of your they'll take what you have, what you call royalties, and they'll give you a small marketing budget or a smaller uh maybe to print it out and all of that stuff, do some distribution for you and everything like that. And then the big five publishing companies, those are the ones that are gonna take most of your royalties and but they already have the reach, they already have been proven to put out New York Times bestsellers, right? They have the capability to put your information out there in front of the people that need to see it. So you want to think about this, and it just really pertains to number one, how many books do you plan on writing? Right? If you plan on only writing one book, you might want to actually consider one of the big five publishing companies because that's like your one shot that you try to do. So it might be you need to do that so you can put it out there in front of the most people possible. But if you plan on writing multiple books, maybe you self-publish your first book, see how that goes, and then kind of go that route. But you want to think about it. And when it comes to self-publishing, one of the huge things is just really you're gonna have to learn marketing. You're gonna have to learn marketing, how to market a book, the different avenues to market, the costs, and all of that type of stuff. So those are kind of your three options. But you really, like I said, you want to make that decision first because that's the most important part. Choose the platform. Like if you're gonna self-publish it, are you gonna have your own website? Are you gonna have it on Amazon? Is it going to be in all bookstores? Is it going to be in Walmart and Target? Like, where are you going to sell your book at? Right? Think about it. And then create ads for your book. You want to make sure that you're creating ads, videos, static posts, just getting the information out there, flyers, whatever the case may be. You want to, and this, like I said, this what goes into uh, that marketing budget that you want to think about. Another thing is the information that you selling, um, you might want to sell only in bundles, and that's another thing that's another huge step that you can do in marketing. Like Eric Thomas, when one of his first books, he was writing. Uh, he only sold it in bundles to schools and to universities and to corporations. The same place that he speak at, he was like, nah, in order to buy this book, you got to buy at least 30. Right. So your whole team, like Eric, like so many people have it. And that's smart on his part because he's getting a big order at once. And is that's just the way that it goes. So there's something to think about as well. Think about your experience and the type of people who will be buying it because that's something that you might could take advantage of as well. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that because it's so important. And I remember that I wrote a book in the past. I never marketed it at all. I just wrote it. It's an ebook. I just wrote it and put it on Amazon. Never marketed it at all. I probably sold like two, right? I posted it on social media like once. But I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna create an ad for it. I'm gonna just see what happens with it, right? There's 5 reasons why Black people should support Black owned businesses. So it's just something that we got to do and think about it because we all, first of all, God bless us all with skills, at least one skill. And then two, once we master that skill, we can definitely share that information and get paid for it. But that's all about writing a book. Like I said, Myron Golden is a huge wealth of information. But we'll hop right into the uh shout out to you on Facebook for sure. Have a great one. Um, we'll hop into the self-development topic for today. And then there's really the benefits of understanding psychology, right? Thinking about psychology, like whenever some people think psychology is like common sense. Like the basics of psychology is common sense, but it's really psychology is super deep, and that's why it's one of the most. It's a super general major. Like you can go, like you major that in college, you can go get a job at like a lot of different places. But when you really dive deep into psychology and you really master it, you can help. You can get charged, like you can charge a high price for that. But of course, if you get your master's and doctorate, but companies, especially the tech companies, especially casinos, especially fast food restaurants, all of these companies, anybody that's selling something, which is most companies, uh they have to understand psychology to a super, super deep level. They're hiring people to understand how people work, how people think, how people are evolving over time. So when you understand psychology, this just helps a lot. And of course, psychology is the study of the mind. Number one, when you understand psychology better, you can learn yourself better, how you think, how you move, how you feel, why you do certain things, like your relationship to anything. You can just learn yourself better when you understand your mind better. And this is your personal psychology. Then you start to expand, you start to uh understand other people, right? You start to, okay, this person did this because of that. This person is doing this because of this. Or, you just start to understand how people interact with each other, how people interact with you, how you interact with other people. It helps so much because especially in your personal life, but also in business, to learn how others think and react and move in the world. Number three, it improves your critical thinking skills. Whenever you can think through something and understand all of the nuances that are evolved in a situation as it pertains to somebody's mind, it in your own mind, it just helps you be able to make better decisions. It helps you to have better responses to situations. It helps you to overcome trauma, right? So, and that's all part of your critical thinking skills. And it also elevates your communication skills whenever you can understand first of all, how you think, how others think, you will be able to communicate so much better, and you won't just um, either be avoidant, or you won't just blow up on people and be extra dramatic. And this is one place that we all should be in. And I should have put receive up here too. But when you understand psychology, it prepares you to be able to give advice. We in our community definitely need to be more open to giving and receiving advice. But when you understand all these other things, yourself, others, you understand how to communicate better, your critical thinking skills, it prepares you to give advice, because a lot of times we might have great advice for somebody, but we don't know how to deliver it. So the person receiving it doesn't even receive it well. And then vice versa. Somebody might be trying to give you advice, and it's just going in one ear and out the other, because you just don't understand yourself enough to know, or you don't understand why somebody is talking to you this way, because you haven't really dove deep or dive deep into that psychology part. It can 100% help you in your career. And I'm going to be completely transparent as it pertains to psychology. Once you really understand psychology, you can, and I'm going to use the word influence, you can influence situations, especially at work, when as it pertains to your coworkers, as it pertains to your managers, and as it pertains to uh, getting things done, right? As far as moving up, getting a raise, um, you understand what you need to say, the specific words you need to use. You understand exactly when you need to say these things, and that will help you, um, have an increase in your career. When you understand psychology, you can use it to your advantage, to a super advantage. And it also helps you in your finances. We talked about a book called The Psychology of Money. It's because we all have a relationship with money based on different things that's happened in our lives, based on how we perceive money to be uh, in the world, and how we just grew up seeing money. So it can help you once you understand your personal psychology with your finances. It can help you as well, because you'll have an understanding, and then you can adjust to that. But yeah, that'll wrap it up for today. Um, Definitely think about what you're experienced enough in to write a book, or what you would like to be experienced enough in to write a book, and just go out and master it and then do it. Right? Everybody, like, share that knowledge with the world, and then start to dive deep into understanding some psychology, because it'll help you out and it'll be super, super beneficial. But that'll wrap it up for today. And I'll see everybody right back here at 7 a.m.